players sitting onto the main stage. All right, we got Maister. What more needs to be said about him that hasn't already been said, okay? The Game & Watch is short in there. But Tilde, though, has been making some waves here, namely at Riptide, no puns intended, but I'll take it, though. I mean, the Falco is just, I mean, really just spreading the agenda the way he's supposed to. He's literally shown up to your house like those religious guys. He said, you got a second to talk about the agenda here? The bird is the word, my lady.
I was about to say, the word of the bird is the word of the day, because Tilde, as you said before, Rod, was doing really good at Riptide. But I said, even on teams earlier, this will be this player's, like, one of their early breakout performances as well.
Yeah.
I think one Tri-State was telling me, like, he was really good, but just didn't travel before COVID. And now that COVID's starting to lighten up a bit and IRL events are starting to come back,
hell yeah,
I'm expecting to see a lot of great things from this player, and already have.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing really well right now. And I would expect, you know, this matchup on paper to be a little difficult for Falco, but I mean, the way he's kind of beating Maister in some of these air-to-airs, which, you know, when you're approaching Falco is kind of one of the spots where Game & Watch likes to come from. You are going to be in a great spot. Also, keeping him in disadvantage. You know, it starts with a grab into an up or an up tilt. You can't really up B out of a lot of those scenarios.
Yeah, and that early stock from Tilde was such a statement. One, tomahawking Game & Watch is one of the scariest things in this game because he has up smash and all of those intangible things and ways to, like, low profile. This character is weird. And two, beating out Meister's back air with his own back air is also huge. And, you know, I kind of like that. I kind of like that because...
Oh, delicious. Oh, no.
Never mind.
What the?
That was rude.
That was unpleasant, sir. Wow. Well, easy come, easy go. But you know what, though? Tilde still with a phenomenal start right here. But, of course, Maister, like I mentioned before, no slouch, so I don't expect him to go quietly. And as you can see right now, Maister approaching just, I guess, a little bit more safe than what we've seen here in the beginning of the match, respectfully. I mean, understanding, yes, I can low profile the neutral special. I can also bucket it as well. I'm sure Tilde probably won't let him bucket him twice. But you need to figure out ways to get in because literally after every hit, Tilde has something in store. All right, none of these hits go astray.
Yeah, I think the laser thing is a bit of a brawl strat. Sometimes you just want to fill up that laser early on in the stock sometimes just to make sure that, okay, I can do the neutral the way that I want to control this pace. But I think Maister showed his hand a bit early. Now he has the crouch out. So Tilde might not opt to use laser too much anymore. I don't think we'll see it as I say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but he might not use it like excessive like what we've seen in the beginning of the game. So you're not wrong. And you know what's funny is that Tilde is not really like a laser excessive, you know, type of Falco. You know, every Falco is kind of played differently, but one thing's for sure, the combo strings have to certainly be there. Now, how you find those combos, that, you know, that differentiates between all the birds. But I will say that Tilde's Falco, excuse me, gets really handsy with the opposing side, and this time, not quite tapping into that Riptide energy, showing us something a little bit different, really utilizing the full toolkit that Falco possesses, using Reflector, completely spaced on that being the thing.
Yeah, and it's a really solid move, underutilized by a lot of Falcos, I do feel. But right now, Maister putting Tilde off stage again. Let's see what these up airs can lead into. Great air dodge right there by Tilde. And here we go, just rinse and repeat though.
Right, really struggling right now, and I love that angle right there, but I also love the setup that Maister had there in the corner, and yes, the forward air, the bomb from the forward air, excuse me, is going to shut it down. Okay, Maister up here. Let's see how long he can hold on to this lead. This is where, you know, Game & Watch can get a little difficult to fight, knowing that, yes, my opponent has to come to me. All right, you get two hands with me, you try to grab me like you talked about before, you try to anti-air or jump over me. I have great anti-air options, a lot of intangibility on some of my moves, so. Also, the down smash at the ledge, too, you know.
Yeah, a lot of solid options to take away stock relatively early, but the forward air and the down tilt, Maister's DI is one, out of this world, and two, risk assessment is the name of the game. He's very good at taking the hits that won't kill and kind of staling them so that that option might not be at the forefront of the opponent's mind in the future. Yeah, a master of psychological warfare.
Yeah, definitely, man. Playing the mental game for sure. Yeah. And of course, the mental game being the long game here in this game. In this set here, excuse me. You see right now, it's a little bit under that 3-minute mark, and Tilde finding some openings here. And what's funny is, like, you know, neither side ever feels down for long. You know, I mean, of course, both of these two are top players, but, like, even with that small lead that Maister had, I never feel like Tilde was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do to bring myself out of this? He's like, all I need is one grab, one string, and you're not approaching me anytime soon, which gives me a lot of time to figure out how I want to approach this.
Yeah, part of the magic of Falco. Because, I mean, Tilde has been pretty good against previous opponents, finding those up tilts and finding those custom combos. Maister has fallen out of a few pretty surprising hits. Like, he fell out of a neutral air once and an up tilt before that. So I'm wondering what Tilde will do to kind of adjust for the lack of the usual confirms. But just like that, finding the whiff punish hits, which again, not easy to do against Game & Watch. A statement to pull that out early in game 1.
That's right. I mean, sometimes you just have to let them know, look, I'm not here to play around, man. So my strings are certainly intact. And I love this, playing the floor is lava. The game that we probably should have played a little bit earlier into the set, but you know what, though? We'll definitely take her at the end. Gets the up tilt, doesn't get the follow-up off it, and there's that up special you were talking about, J-Dog.
Yeah, managed to get out of dodge. And almost getting the kill right there, the bucket. You only need one more charge, and if you give that to him now, it probably will kill almost anywhere on stage.
That's right. It's all going to be a matter of timing here. There's the up air right into the up special. When is up? I was getting ready to say, when is up smash going to come out? He beat me to it.
Yeah, any second now, but the chair. Yep, have a seat, stage left, and that'll be it for game number 1. Maister barely eking that one out.
That's right. Beautiful gameplay right there as always. Tilde, of course, holding strong to the very end, but Maister's coming through with that top player prowess, that top player resilience, you know, and just, you know, really just holding out and getting the most like out of his stocks. I feel like, you know, it just, again, 132%. I mean, I believe that we're at a little under the 3-minute mark. You know, still on his second stock. I mean, he is really taking as much time as he can.
Yeah, and that's one of the hallmarks of Maister's play. Always likes to play his own game, and what his own game usually looks like the opposite of the opponent's.
That's right.
Yeah. Again, that psychological warfare. Likes to taunt, likes to crouch a bit. Tactical crouching, get in your opponent's head. Hey, man, all's fair in the game. All right, if it's in the game, got to use it.
Got to use it, man. I mean, you know, the great thing about Game & Watch's crouch is that, like, I could either be teabagging you know, trying to get under your skin, which I'm not saying that Maister is doing, but I could also just be trying to duck neutral special because, good Lord, I don't want to get hit with that. So,
yeah, actual tactical crouch there.
That's right. Okay, some tactical combos coming out here as we kick this match off 10 seconds in until they already at 45% here. Not a good position to be in at all. Trying to use the reflector here a little bit earlier into the game this time. Okay, doesn't quite alleviate too much of the pressure. A lot of space to work with here, mind you, so definitely interested to see how that's going to play an effect here in this match. Up throw.
I'm also curious to see how Kalos will play out in this counter pick here, because I saw early on he kind of got trapped on one of the platforms, and you know, you usually have a bit more platform mix-ups on other stages. So maybe just going for less interruption to the string, but also Game & Watch can juggle pretty hard too.
Yeah, especially a character like, oh my God, like Falco. Out of a jump, is going to have the Falco lose in, gets the wall jump, and off the mark with the edge guard there, excuse me. The off-stage interactions are just not quite as sharp as what we've seen in the past there from Maister, but I will say, though, that despite him not being on the money, Tilde certainly knows how to angle that up special and, like, what timing to run into the walls. He slides up a little bit slower, a little bit quicker in accordance to the off-stage pressure as well, too. So, again, you know, you talk about the psychological warfare and the mental game. Both of these two are definitely in each other's head.
Some amazing text coming through right there from Tilde, 2 in a row, but I don't think Game & Watch has any confirms right here. Yeah, maybe that's what he was going for. Yeah, being able to phantasm and still have jumps and resources off stage, but untechable. Yeah, you played around out there a little bit too much. Very high percent. Key, not like a super strong move, but it's still going to be enough to force the untechable and give Maister an early lead.
Especially at that percent too. I mean, you were on borrowed time. It's one thing to, you know, show your resilience off stage. Like, yeah, I got a lot of coverage. I got a lot of options to get out of harm's way out here. But like, the real question is, why are you still off stage? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, get those feet planted.
Yes.
You're a bird, but you can't live in the air forever.
Unfortunately. Well, despite all of that, as you can see right now, Tilde, bit of a deficit here. Nothing one conversion won't fix. There it is. Beating me to my words. Damn it. Tilde, you gotta let me call it first. Nah, I'm just kidding. He doesn't need me.
Yeah, he'll make these own calls, man.
There you go, man. Okay. Crouching right under the neutral special. A little bit of a mix-up right here, man.
This is the hardest game of rock, paper, scissors I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, this is just good old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors for sure.
Yeah. All right. But something else from Tilde that I noticed is making this matchup pretty hard is that you don't have access to your normal pressure tools with like neutral air and forward air, because normally the mix-up is, okay, will you land enough close enough to get that last hitbox once you land? But Maister can just hold shield, angle it down even, and then up B, and that's a free punish every time.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, when you have that type of mentality, when you apply it early, I feel like it really sends a message to the, oh my God, the other side. Speaking of sending a message, that bucket is almost full. I don't know if Tilde wants to play around with that anymore, but I do understand the importance of using neutral special, especially on a wide open stage like this. I mean, apply a little pressure from the other side of the room. Nice, gets the up tilt right into the back here. Maister holding on here for dear life despite getting the red sparks there.
Yeah, he's so good at surviving those fringe scenarios, taking the risks that are appropriate at the time. You would think he would die to that up tilt back air, but the fact that he didn't means that he gets another chance to play, and that's why he's sitting with a 2-1 lead at the moment in terms of stock count.
That's right, looking really good right here, anticipating possibly going up 2-0 in a set, but Tilde's not going quietly into the night. Another up tilt right into the back air, and I like this. You know, not too many players in the world, will, just willing to take the risk on trying to anti-air Game & Watch when he jumps in. But you know what, though? Tilde cut from a slightly different cloth. He sees Game & Watch's feet leave, but he sees those 2D feet leave the stage. He's up tilting, okay? And you know what comes after up tilt? Well, actually, a lot of things that come after up tilt.
Imagination.
Yeah, literally imagination. But you know what, though? I can't think of any other. Well, there are actually more Falcos. But the point that I'm getting at is that Tilde is at this point in time in bracket for a reason. And he is the most imaginative Falco still in bracket. Hell, might even be the only Falco here at this level. I actually don't know what the rest of the top 32 is looking like. Tilde, though, playing very well, regaining the lead here. Not the biggest lead in the world, but a lead nonetheless. Doesn't get the grab there. Another up special. Tilde off his feet here again.
Tilde is kind of getting worked in the moment. Lots of up airs, but finally gets but the second hit. But we got a remix of it. Not in the right position. Very excellent DI to not end up behind Falco and not in a position where he could really get an up air. I don't know if up air would have killed, but it would have been dang close.
Oh! Okay, yeah, please don't try to do anything after he up smashes, bro.
It's not worth it.
It ain't worth it because you know... Oh, no, not like this. Maister with the clutch factor at the ledge. Again, really leaning into some of the... some of the not so great qualities that Falco has. Great character, depending on who's playing him. And, of course, Tilde, as awesome as he is, could be a phenomenal player, but your character still has some flaws.
Yeah. And actually, one of those flaws came in the form of a normal benefit for Falco having those really high jumps, especially wall jumps. Because he has to jump so high, the first wall jump is like a fixed distance. You do end up going pretty high up there. And Tilde tried to offset that by throwing out a hitbox, but Maister had that locked and loaded and was just having a standoff with Tilde there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Falco definitely has the springs in them boots, and he definitely has the wings, which can help, aid him when it comes to coming back to the ledge. I mean, we've seen it multiple times in that game on Kalos, really leaning into, using the stage, the size of the stage, to his advantage. I really like the fact that, he knew up special was coming. He knew that he was basically attempting to down air him or back air him. So he kind of like hugged the stage ever so slightly, trying to mix up the timing. That was so smooth, but unfortunately not smooth enough right here for Maister as he was still able to clutch it out there. But we're running it back on Kalos, and I guess I like it because both players get a lot of time to really read each other. They get a lot of time to play the long-range game, too. Not a lot of pressure in how we're going to scrap up close. But also on Tilde's behalf, survivability, man. I can just kind of mix it up out here just a little bit more than I probably could on, like, an FD or a Battlefield.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, I mean, Tilde, again, unable to get any big pressure going and potentially forcing the issue a bit. Oh. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. It's only lasers, only did like 30-ish. Like, the Game Watch is going to do that off a juggle anyway, so maybe not in the worst position for it. Unless, just take the ledge. But, again, forcing his hand a bit too fast and not even the berry hitbox. Excellent timing right there by Maister. Not giving Falco a chance to land so that you get the killing hitbox. You're probably dead even if it did bury, but regardless, skipping a step means that it's just less steps to potentially mess up, less room for error.
Right, and I guess in Game & Watch's case, you really can't afford to lose any exchanges with Falco. I mean, not saying that Falco's the hardest hitting character in the world, but when you are coupled with options the way Tilde implies them here to the match, I mean, you could find yourself into just the stickiest of situations here. I mean, Maister hanging out at the ledge and Tilde's like, don't be sleeping on me, homie. Don't do it.
Facts. Yeah, and that's something that Tilde's doing that I really like, that a lot of players don't necessarily do against Maister because it's hard. You got to vibe check him sometimes. The dude has a lot of tricks and will test you. Test you hang on ledge, test you trying to crouch your stuff, test you by just like hang out above you and saying, what are you going to do? You have to pass like a lot of mini games to get through to fighting like true Maister.
Yeah, you really do. And I feel like, I guess Tilde is kind of doing it correctly. Staying back to one side, using neutral special when he can. Obviously not being too neutral special happy because, of course, he doesn't want to get it bucket, even though it doesn't do a lot of percent. You're also just in the deficit here. And he's not having the best time in approaching Maister, which is the biggest issue. Now, when he does get that one opening, he capitalizes in a big fashion. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Maister going a little low, and yes, trying to catch the roll on the ledge there with the throw. Another up special out of shield there to save himself. And unfortunately enough, the bird gets cooked out there. Final stock right here on Tilde's behalf in this set. He's going to have to dig really deep to try to bring himself out of this hole.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard dig. That down air turns untechable way earlier than I thought, though. Maybe because Tilde is trying to hold up to get that up B, influencing the LSI and making the speed way faster. And it just, like, those are stocks that you want to hold on to for at least like 10, 15% longer. Because if you can get one string like this, even though Maister does have that eject button, you still have the walk speed to pressure. And when you walk, you have access to all your tools anyway.
Yeah, you most definitely do. He's going to need all the tools and then some right now, because this is just starting to kind of steamroll out of control. Can't even get a good dare on shield. This is a very comfortable position for Maister to be in. He has to lead. He knows that Falco, in order for him to get anything started, has to approach, has to overextend ever so slightly. And of course, in a situation like this, Maister certainly has all the great defensive options out of shield to just keep the bird out.
And right now, for Maister, this is like another day in the office.
Yeah,
he sets up this situation so many times in almost every single tournament we see him enter. Yep, doing stuff like this, just kind of crouching, testing your opponents. You have a lead, you have to come to me, like Rod said, just playing your usual game.
Like nothing out of the ordinary right now. Okay, but you know what? This is still far from undoable right here for Tilde. I mean, if he can find one opening, depending on the part of the stage that he's at, like you get that up tilt back here right here on the left side or the left or right side platform. Game & Watch, of course, not the heaviest character in the world. Actually, I don't even know exactly where he ranks anymore in like the lightest character thing, because you know we've added Pichu and Squirtle back into the mix. I know he's still like upper echelon in terms of weight.
Yeah, light enough to
and
be
being
a problem.
light. Yes, definitely light as a feather there. But I'm gonna need Tilde to try to apply some of these feathers right here on Maister.
Yeah, something. Tilde looking a little bit lost on how to get this kill, and Maister hanging back. We're going to see a lot of these up smashes start to come out because we saw those back airs from Tilde that could do the job. But now the laser's here too. Again, rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. I doubt we'll see a timeout, but like I think Maister's actually willing to let it happen if it needs to.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him do it in the past. You know, it's not usually like the thing he wants to go for always, but you know, when it presents itself, when he's in the league like this, when he knows that it's a, I mean, I don't want to say Falco's cut and dry, but you know what Falco has to do now. Like there is no mix-up option, like per se, like a snake, where I can like, okay, I can't quite fight Game & Watch with my hands, so I'm gonna use my projectiles to really screw him up. It's like, yeah, I kind of got to come in right now.
Yeah. I think, oh, great up air. I was actually thinking, because Maister is at this percent and up air probably won't work anymore. Maister, yep, can just hang out and shield and just wait for Tilde to end up off stage and seal this one out, put a bow on it, and send it all the way through winner's bracket, because that's what we're going to see. Maister taking the 3 over Tilde.
That's right. But, you know, Tilde, of course, is still in bracket, friends. There's a lot of Tilde fans in the chat. And honestly, after Riptide, I think I followed Tilde on Twitch just like